Good morning from Butte, Montana, February 16, 2018. Witt's Guitar Daily, hotel room warm-ups. This is going to refer back to the first one I did with the scale exercise. So you hear the metronome in the back. I'll get to that in a second. Let me just turn that off actually for a moment. I had demonstrated over what I call an F shape. I consider the neck divided up into 5 different shapes. It's F shape would be like an F bar chord. The next shape I consider is looks like a D folk chord. That's still an F though. I'm playing an F with that shape. So that's the other voicing. Then as you go up the neck, it looks like a C. It's still an F chord, but it looks like it's the C shape. Then the A or B flat shape, depends. It's just a punk rock bar chord. And then you get to this one. It looks a lot like it looks exactly like a G chord. It's just I'm playing it up here. Represents F, and then you would get to the same as you'd started. So you play you play the major scale over each one of those positions, and then you play just as you did with this. You play a C major or the 1 major, 2 minor, 3 minor, 4 major, 5 major, which has a flat 7. It's the 7th sound, as in a 7 chord or a dominant chord. It's very clear. Then 6 minor and B minor it naturally gets a flat 5 if you honor the fingering. I'm sorry. See? And then back to the 1 chord. Okay, so I'm going to just go through a drill here. So just kind of learn this verbatim. I'll try to do this first couple of fingerings slow, and then I'm going to turn the metronome on and make a demonstration of how I actually do the drill myself right at the moment. So today, instead of starting with this F shape, I'm going to start with that G shape. We're playing a C major scale, okay? First and foremost, we're playing a C major scale, and we're playing it over what I call a G shape. That's completely a guitar reference. No other instrument would call it a G shape, but we see it this way because that's how we make a G chord. Okay, so reach down and push back up, and back down. Okay, it's good to hit the other notes in the scale so you know where they are, but it's also good when you're actually playing to go from root to root, because if you end up on a note that's not a root, it kind of tricks the ear. You may not hear it as a basic chord. It's a little abstract, I guess. Here we go. So this is what you ought to do. Call it out as you go. Root 3, 5, 7, back home. This is what I mean. Root 3, 5, 7. Back home. Now, little by little, you'll get the rest of the fingering as you come across. You go to the next chord. The next chord starts off the next note. So the 2 minor. Root 3, 5, 7. Okay, so and these numbers I'm calling are just a root, the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, to the 3 chord. Root 3, 5, 7. I'm not playing any notes that are not in this. That is your roadmap for everything I'm doing. I have not hit anything new. This is starting off the 4. So it's a 4 chord. Root. 3. 5. 7. Sorry. See, 4 chords, really ethereal kind of majors. If you honor all its natural notes, kind of floating along. This is 5, which is like the first note of a 5 chord, so dominant. Root. Right, root. 3, 5, 7. Now, you're going to have to push out of the position if you start from here. That's okay, but you might start it from this lower octave. Now, we'll do it from here just to be thorough, but 3rd, 5, 7. You had to push out, which isn't bad. You'll eventually want to do that. And then, if the 7th degree, same note. 3rd, 5. Yeah, you had to really push out that time. That's right. So you might. Okay, so then you would move to the next fingering. So you would play, and you find that by just doing the circle of fifths: C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. You might say G flat, B, E, A, D, G, C. You can look it up online. Just Google circle of fifths. You'll see that order, and that will naturally take you through C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, and when you get to D flat, you're back to this G shape. And it's the same order of shapes over and over and over, and it keeps crawling up by a fret. So as much, if you got 15 minutes, you probably won't get through more than, it depends on how fast the metronome is going. And that will be the last part of this lesson here. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping around a bit, trying to get a lot of information into one little segment. And it's asking me to update and add an app and all that junk. Here we go. So I have a metronome set on 99. That should be considered relatively fast. You really might want to start around 50 to get the fingering under your hands. Now, here's something very important. Tick, 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 right? The metronome. Call that to the second beat of a measure, like 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 1s and the 3s are in the spaces, and the 2s and the 4s are on the click. That'll give it a natural sense of swing. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do it here. 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 7. Then you go to the next key, which we did not study this fingering, but I'll just kind of running out of time. If this is a F major, like a 1 chord, same, right? And you do the same thing. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And you go to the next note. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, root 3, 5, 7. Right, go to the next note. Now, as soon as you have the opportunity to drop down, I sort of suggest doing that. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 7, root 3, 5, 7, root 3, 5, 7, root 3, 5, 7, root 3, 5, 7. See, and you're back to 1. Go to the next fingering. This one we already know. B flat, right? So I'm gonna jump ahead here. E flat shape, but we're playing well, we actually are playing an E flat as well. How about that? 2, 3, 4. Here's your root. I'll just finger it quick. The rest of the notes are, and then you have to slide up out of position. Right? 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, root 3, 5, 7. On up. Next one is this shape. It looks like A flat, right? If you've gone through this cycle of fifths, it'll tell you after E flat is A flat. This one's a little squirrely. I don't think George Barnes, one of my favorite guitar players, used this shape. I think he divided the neck into 4 groups. But 2, 3, 4, root 3, 5, 7, root. I'll drop down 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 7, 7. Sorry, once again. 2, 3, 4, root 3, 5, 7, root 3, 2, 3, 4, root 3, 5, 7. Root 2, 3, 4, 3, 5. 2, 3, 4. I could do some work on that one myself. And then you'd be back to the G shape, but now you're playing C sharp or D flat, and it'll just keep going on all the way up the neck. It's kind of amazing. So you can make the metronome considerably slower. So I'm going to put it on 50. Important is that click is the 2 and the 4. It's okay if it's 1 and 3. It's fine. I mean, that's just playing in straight time. And most of the music this sort of technique that we're learning about is typically used in like Western music or jazz, swing, even early rock and roll. It'll feel better. It'll get the more natural sound if you've put the beat on 2 and 4. All right. So for instance, very slow. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just start with, when you hear that click, say 2. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.